Hello again. We're here to talk about Crystal Cove or Sapphire Bay West, interchangeable names of the same place. This is a nice condo complex located next door, adjacent to Sapphire Beach Resort and Marina. Already done a video about that place, so some of the same things are said about this one in that it's a very good location on the east end of St. Thomas. It's only, well, this one's a little more than half a mile away from the town of Red Hook, where you have shopping, restaurants, bars, and the ferry to St. John. Certainly within walking distance and an easy job of just jumping on one of the safari buses and getting into Red Hook. So great, great location. It also has tennis courts and a pool, which is nice. And like we said, the really nice beach that it shares with Sapphire Beach Resort. Well, all beaches are public, so it's shared with a lot, but easy. The difference between this one and Sapphire Beach Resort, though, is Crystal Cove is set away from the beach itself. It's not sitting directly on the beach like those units. It's set back away. So you're not going to have as good of views from your unit. You're not going to be sitting on your porch directly above the sand itself, and you're not going to be right there with the water where you can listen to the waves. You might be able to hear them sometimes, but not a lot of the time. So it being set away is a little different. The property surrounds a big pond also. It's nice. It's a beautiful area with lots of grass, and it's a flat area as well. But like I said, it's not directly on the beach itself. Crystal Cove is set with 4 buildings, A, B, C, and D. Now, actually, they're labeled like that, but some of the buildings might actually be are a little bigger than others. Some have more units. But substantial size. It's 2 levels, units on the lower floor and on the upper floor. Almost all of these units are 1 bedroom, 2 bathroom, though there are some studio units. And then I know of at least one that's double level, and there might be others that people purchase and combine them. When they were originally built, there was only one that was special that had an up and down. Staircases are located outside of the units to enter the upper units. One thing I really like about the lower units, though you won't have as good of a view from down below, but they have their own yards. Maybe not every single unit. There are some in that A building near the end that may not, but they have their own yards, which is nice to have like a little enclosed area, outside area. Now, I did own one of these units in the past, and it was a lower unit, and I loved it because it had some tenants, long-term tenants, and one of the people was a smoker. He knew not to smoke in the unit itself, which was great. He was very nice about it. He went outside, he had a nice lounge chair there, and he could sit there and smoke his cigarettes outside, and it didn't affect the people right next to him because they're fenced off and they're pretty large, and it definitely didn't affect the inside of my unit and make everything smell like cigarettes. So I like that a lot too. When we talk about the dues, this is similar to Sapphire Beach Resort in cost, though the units are bigger. The 1 bedroom units, 1 bedroom, 2 bathroom units are about $1,000 a month in the COA dues. That includes the insurance. It's gated. They don't have a guard waiting there, but it is gated, and there's an on-site manager as well, and that person is usually pretty close to around there. They tend to know who's coming and going in there. There's a rental company right there at the gate too, so you don't really have to worry too much about strangers coming in and out of there. It is a controlled environment, which is nice. The $1,000 dues is quite expensive, but we're talking about a unit that's more like 1,000 square feet versus 600 square feet, and they're comparable in cost. So you have a bigger place for the same cost in dues as you do at Sapphire Beach Resort. Now, there are things that aren't included. You're in charge of your own air conditioning system here. You're in charge of your own hot water here. You're in charge of your own windows and doors. So few of the things that are included at Sapphire Beach Resort are not included here at Crystal Cove, nor would they be at any other condo complexes either. Sapphire Beach Resort is a little different from that. One thing that I find to be kind of an advantage here is the flexibility in use at Crystal Cove. These are very good for long-term rentals as well as vacation rentals, either one. And people will have these leased for 1 year leases to residents, maybe people working in Red Hook, bartenders, servers, shop workers, people that work over on St. John because it's close to the ferry and they can get back and forth easily. These are common places to be rented long term, which is nice because you could actually have the flexibility to use it as a vacation rental during the high month season, the winter, basically Thanksgiving through April time. And then you could do like a 6 month rental long term to somebody else, not worry about the vacation rentals during that time. And that's a good way to capitalize on both seasons. But you can also make money by renting these. Price, what do you get long term? Well, like we said, your costs are about $1,000 a month plus utilities. If you pass on those utilities, make them the responsibility of the tenant. I'd say a place that is not very nice at all, you might only be getting about $1,300 a month. Place that's that's very nice, you might get as much as $2,400, $2,500 a month. I know that I had mine rented for $2,400 a month, and I did it in 3 month stints. So I rented it to different people for 3 months at a time. They didn't have to commit to a year, but I got a higher rent, and I was able to keep billing it nonstop. I had the next tenant in place before the first one was out. I did this with some traveling nurses that knew each other and were able to get it together as one. That's a little high rent for just one nurse, but this worked well with two. We do have a problem with financing here, like we do at Sapphire Beach Resort and some of the other places here on St. Thomas. You'd probably have to work through Merchants Commercial Bank or First Bank to get a loan here. They do have a rental company on property. This would be deemed as a condotel as well, but financing is feasible. It is possible. And with the long-term rental possibilities on this, it actually gives you a possibility that you could lease this and still be clearing some money, at least if you did a good job and you made the unit nice. But it would have to be nice to be able to clear that and make some profit. But I find this to be an excellent investment here on St. Thomas. I like them a lot. There's a lot of demand for places that are right on the beach, both as vacation rentals and as long-term rentals. And the East End location is fantastic too. So keeping them full is pretty easy. I found that out myself. As I said, I have owned one here, so I believe what I preach. If you have any other questions about Crystal Cove, Sapphire Bay West, you just let me know. I'd be happy to help you. Thanks.